My topic for today is, are you afraid of your greatness? I know you may say, afraid? My greatness? I'm not afraid of my greatness. But there are so many ways in which we show, even though we don't want to, that we are afraid of our greatness. So today I will be pointing out ways in which you may be afraid of your greatness. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Edition of Inspira Central. I am your girl Monica, the Chief Inspirer herself, and trust me, I'm glad to have you here with me again today. My topic for today is, are you afraid of your greatness? I know you may say, afraid? My greatness? I'm not afraid of my greatness. But there are so many ways in which we show, even though we don't want to, that we are afraid of our greatness. When you do things that sabotage you, when you do things that stop you from becoming your very best, when you stand in the way of your own growth and your own progress, you are showing that you are scared, you are afraid, you are frightened of your greatness. So today I will be pointing out ways in which you may be afraid of your greatness. And in order for us to dissect and understand this topic very well, I will be asking more questions. The first question I will ask is, do you sabotage yourself? Yeah, self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is when there are things that you need to do. You know you need to do them. You know that if you do those things, they will be for your growth. But you decide, you make up your mind, you take deliberate actions not to do those things. That is self-sabotage. For instance, you know that you have a job interview today at 8 a.m. and then you spend the whole night, the night before, watching movies up to 4 a.m. and you know that your job interview is in 4 hours time, and you then fall asleep at 4 a.m. Like, you deliberately, nothing is wrong, you fall asleep at 4 a.m. You and I know that except you do some kind of miracle or somebody wakes you up, it will be difficult for you to get up and be early to that interview and get there before 8 a.m. You and I know that. So when you do something like that, it means that a part of you does not want to go for that interview. But you're not quite sure how to tell people around you that this is not quite the job you like. But then again, because you've been out of a job for 2 years, you just tell yourself, well, I'd better take what is available. But you know deep down in your heart, you know that this job is not something you want to do. You don't even like the industry. It's not where you want to build a life. It's not where you want to build a career. You are not interested in the job. But you tell yourself, so how do I explain to people that I've been out of a job for 2 years and I'm still being choosy? So you just say, okay, let me accept the call for the interview. Let me just tell them I will be there. But then you now take actions to make something go wrong, so that then you can say, I'm not to blame, I didn't do anything wrong. See, what happened was that by the time I got there, the interview had ended. It wasn't my fault. They didn't make provision for me, so it just happened. That is not my fault. I was there, I went for the interview, I was prepared, I knew what to say. They just did not call me. The interview had ended. But you will not tell people the part where you got there at 12 noon, whereas your interview was scheduled for 8 a.m. You couldn't make it at 8 a.m. because, of course, you had stayed up until 4 a.m. That is self-sabotage. That is you fighting against yourself. That is you standing in your own way. That is you making sure that you don't get that job. You don't get it. You don't want it. So a part of you is always going to communicate what you want or what you don't want. Even if your mouth is saying, yes, I want the job, it's a good job, it's a good pay, oh, that is a very, very good role. But your mind is telling you, this job, I'm not equipped for it. I don't even like it. It doesn't fall under my likes and interests. I don't like it. Why am I doing the job? I don't want this job. I really don't. But you cannot tell people because peer pressure, family pressure, societal pressure, and you just say to yourself, okay, let me just go along with it. Let me just go along with whatever comes. Then you yourself will do things that will make you look like you're not culpable. But of course you're culpable. You know in your heart of hearts that you stood in your own way because you didn't want that job. Now that is one way of you being afraid of your own greatness. Because let me ask you, if you get this job, what could go wrong? What? It's a new industry. You've never had a job in this industry. Your experience is from a different industry. That's fine. Your CV states that. These people know that you've never worked in this industry, and yet they are giving you an opportunity to work in this industry. They have called you for an interview. So what is so bad about that? If these people see potential in you, why don't you see potential in yourself? Or why do you think that your potential does not suit this industry? Why do you think that? Do you think that a company will set itself up to fail by hiring the wrong person for the job? There has to be something they saw in you. There has to be some potential that they saw in you and that they want to harness, that they want to use, that they think can suit their company. So why are you standing in your own way? Why are you standing in the way of your own weakness? Why don't you see it as an opportunity for you to grow? Why don't you see it as an opportunity for you to expand? Why don't you see it as an opportunity for growth and acceleration and new opportunities, new lessons? Why don't you see it as that? Instead, you just want to remain in the same old place. You love your comfort zone so much so that you will do anything to ensure that you remain in that comfort zone, even if it is to your detriment. And then you say you're not afraid of your own greatness. Do you know what it is to embrace your greatness? It's to say, I have what it takes. No matter what comes my way, no matter what the situation may be, I am capable. I can withstand it. I can do whatever it takes and I can grow. I can excel in this place. I can, in spite of the challenges, grow and accelerate. What's stopping you from thinking that way? It's your mindset. It is you thinking you're not good enough or thinking you're even too good for that new industry. Either way, you're standing in your own way. You are afraid of your greatness. You are standing in the way of your greatness. Another question I want to ask you is, are you impeding your own growth? You know what it is to impede? That's like to create roadblocks. That's like to stop the thing. That's like putting stumbling blocks in the way. So are you putting stumbling blocks in the way of your own growth? Are you? And you're saying, how can I put stumbling blocks in my own way? Of course I want to grow. Who doesn't want to grow? Well, sometimes we say we want to grow, but our actions show that we don't want to grow. We say it, but we don't act it. For instance, there are free courses online. There are free courses that you can take that can help you gain more knowledge, help you gain more insight about the new happenings in your industry. And this can help you become better at your job. This can help you get promotions. Some of these courses even have certifications. Some of them may not be free, but they are subsidized. That is to say that they are affordable. And some of them are expensive, but they are worth it. So what is stopping you from taking these courses? If you say you're not impeding your own growth, what is stopping you from taking these courses? What is stopping you from acquiring new knowledge that you need to become better at what you do? What is stopping you? Care to share with me? Okay, if you look more closely at what you do, you will find ways in which you may have been impeding your own growth over the years. One of the ways in which you can be impeding your own growth, apart from not acquiring the necessary relevant knowledge that you need, is that you keep hanging out with the same old people who are not going anywhere and who are not helping you grow in any way. You have friends from 20 years ago, and I'm saying to you, those friends from 20 years ago, how have they helped you over the years to become better? Or have you all become stagnant such that you are sitting together talking about old things that have passed, things that do not matter, things that are no longer current? Is that what you and your friends are doing? Or do you talk about new things? Do you talk about new ideas? Do you talk about doing great things, innovations? Do you have grand plans that you are working towards? Or do you just sit there talking about people? Do you sit there talking about, do you remember that time? Oh my goodness, those were the good old days. Yeah, they were the good old days. What is today? What are you doing today? What are your plans for tomorrow? What is your plan for next year? Or you have no more goals, you're now talking about the good old days. You're talking about the good old days as if you are a 90-year-old who has nothing new to do. Even some 90-year-olds are writing books, they are doing great things. You're talking as if your days are over, or your youth is gone, or your time is fast spent, and so you cannot get it back. What are you doing with your time? And you stay there with these people who have no future ambitions. They are not talking about anything new. They are reminiscing. They are reminiscing like people that are retired and have nothing else to do. Why are you sitting down reminiscing instead of building a life, instead of growing, instead of adapting, instead of doing something new? Why are you sitting down there reminiscing about the past? That is one way in which you impede your own growth. You are spending time with the same old people, talking about the same old tired things that don't count, that don't matter, that have been overtaken by events that are no longer current. That's where you're at. And you're staying there regurgitating the same old thing. Nothing new to say. You people are sitting down doing nothing. Why not make some time for yourself and go and read a book? Why not take a course? Why not look for new friends who are doing great things so that they can inspire you, so they can direct you, so they can show you the way to take and become a better person? Why aren't you doing that? And you say you're not impeding your growth. How can you grow when you're with the same old circle, doing the same old things, talking about the same old things? How can you grow? You need to break away from that stale old group that is doing nothing new and that has no plans of doing anything new. Not by a long shot. Walk away from those people who keep talking about how the government is not doing anything, how somebody dumped them 20 years ago, how, oh my goodness, if this guy had not cheated me, I would have been very wealthy now. Yeah, he cheated you. When? 15 years ago. And you're still talking about it. You mean that this past 15 years have not been enough for you to build something new? You're still talking about that same old thing. So you're resting on your laurels. That is, if you had achieved that thing 15 years ago, you're still reminiscing about that. You need to move on. You need to do something new. You cannot keep talking about the same old thing. Say, yes, back then when I was this, back then when I was that. It does not matter. If it is gone, it is gone. If it's done, it is done. Get new things to do. Place new awards on that shelf. Place something new. Do something new. Stop talking about what you've done before. Stop talking about old achievements. They are old, they are stale, they are dusty. Let them go. As long as you're still breathing, you have something new to do. You have your life, you have your health. What are you doing with them? Talking about the same old things, doing the same old things. My dear, you have to grow. You have to move. Things have to change. You cannot remain the same person doing the same old things that don't work. No, you can't. You have to grow. If you know you're not afraid of your greatness, if you know you're not afraid of your potentials, if you know you're not afraid of how phenomenal you actually are, it is time to say goodbye to those old friends, Meet up with new friends who are doing better, greater things. Read, study, learn. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Do something new. And then you will show us that you're indeed not afraid of your own greatness. Step into that greatness. We want to see you being great. We want to see you being awesome. Yes, we want to see your name headlining blogs, newspapers, magazines. We want to see you trending on the internet for the right reasons. Because of what you have done, because of your impact on society, you have to grow. So we love to see your growth. Step out. Don't be afraid of your own greatness. Embrace your greatness. Become who you have been called to be, who you have been made to be, who you have the potential to be. And we would love to see it. The world will be a better place when you're not hiding by the shadows and becoming less than what you have been called to become. The final sign that you are afraid of your greatness is that you keep postponing what your heart longs for. What does your heart long for? Do you want to be an engineer? Do you find it nearly impossible to go a day without fixing something? Is that what your heart longs for? Or do you want to sing so bad and with the microphone? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to spread the good news? Do you want to be a preacher? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you feel this pain in your heart when you see people who are sick and you want to tend to them? You want to make them better. You want to treat them. You want to give them injection. You want to give them tablets. You want them to be well, okay, and healthy again. What is it that pulls at your heart? What is it that your heart longs for? What is that thing that you feel so much passion about? What is that thing? Tell us what it is. And do you keep postponing it? Do you keep saying, okay, this is where I am now. It doesn't matter. My dreams can wait. And you say, not today. Maybe in the next 10 years, I will work on my dreams. Is that what you're doing? Is that where you're at? Where you're saying tomorrow? Where you're saying next year? Where you're saying some other time? Is that where you're at? Or are you standing up and embracing your dreams and making them come to pass? Is that what you're doing? Or do you just keep saying, well, I don't have what it takes now. I guess when the money comes, I guess someone could lend me money. I guess. And you keep guessing and guessing and guessing and guessing and guessing and guessing. And there is no certainty. You're not sure if you're going to do this. You're not sure if this is the next step. You're not sure if this is ever going to happen. Is that you? Do you keep deferring? Do you keep postponing? Do you keep pushing into the future something that your heart beats for now? Something that your heart has always beaten for since you were born? Do you want your heart to explode? Come on, do what your heart longs for. You see, that thing that your heart keeps beating for, that thing that your heart loves, that thing that your heart wants, indeed is where you should go. You know why? You know why? Because your heart knows what your mind may not yet know. Your heart knows what it wants from day one. But your mind is trained by events, by what people have told you, by circumstances, by your experiences. Your mind is trained. But you see the heart. The heart knows what the heart wants. So if your heart longs for something, you need to take that step. You need to make the bold move. You need to step out of your comfort zone and do that thing that your heart longs for. Do that thing that you strongly feel you need to do. Do that thing that you are passionate about. Become everything that you can be. Become everything that you have the abilities and the strength to be. Become your very best. Tap into your greatness. Give us all that you are and all that you can be, so that the world will be a better place because you came here. The world will be a better place because you came into the world. And people who meet you or who feel your impact in whatever way, through whatever medium in which you put out your works, will be grateful that you were born. Stop running away from your greatness. Stop hiding out. Stop saying some other time. Stop saying maybe not me, some other person can. Stop saying that. The world needs to see your greatness. You know, when I'm talking about this, I'm also saying it to myself. I'm saying it to myself because for a very long time, I've shied away from the camera, I've shied away from the public eye, I've shied away from anything that will put my picture or my image or my video out there. Anything. I've always been this private person, doing things in private, not wanting to socialize so much and all that. But I've also always known that my greatness is in talking. I've always known that my skills are public skills. I mean, I talk and people listen. And sometimes even when I'm just conversing or having a private conversation, people turn around when they hear me speak because they want to see who this person is. They have heard me talk and now they're like, okay, who's that? Who's that? They turn. And I did not intend to attract anybody or draw anybody's attention. But it is what it is. Because that is what I have been equipped with. That is what I was born with. And so automatically, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Camera, TV, radio, social media. Anything that gets me seen. Anything that puts me where people can see me and receive my message. And be positively impacted by my message. That's my natural calling. Even though I avoided it for a long time, even though I shied away for a long time, I knew that a day would come when I would not be able to run away or hide or remain in my comfort zone. I've done that for too long. And just as I stepped into my greatness, and I feel so much better. So much better. Like when I'm talking like this and I'm talking to you, I just feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel energized. I feel like this is where I'm meant to be. There's this joy I cannot explain. Inexplicable joy. I cannot explain it to you, even if I tried. And I'm supposed to be a woman of words, but I don't have words to explain how happy, how comfortable, how in my zone I feel when I'm talking to you. And I want you to feel that way too. I want you to experience that for yourself. I want you to feel in your zone. I want you to tap into and step into your own greatness. And that's why I'm saying, don't be afraid of your greatness. You know, what really do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? If you come into this world with such enormous talent, you come into this world with so much greatness, and you don't use it, you don't tap into your greatness, you don't show the world your greatness, you don't express who you are, and then you die. What have you gained? How has the world become better because you were here? Do you know how much the world will miss out on if you do not express your greatness? Do you know that the world will be a less better place because you did not express your greatness? So, just as I stepped out and I came here to YouTube, me on YouTube, I find it hard to believe. But here I am on YouTube. Because I mean, how else? How else can the world hear my message? How else can I impact the world positively? How else can I spread positivity and joy and hope and motivation to the world than to put myself out here and to show the world that it can be done, and to tell people that they do not have to give into despair, but that they are so blessed, they are so gifted, they are so endowed, and they have to use that greatness for something. I'm saying it to the world, and I'm saying it to you. Don't let your greatness go to waste. Don't. The world needs to hear you. The world needs to see you. The world needs to feel your presence. The world needs you to tap into your gifts and use them to better the world. Just as I am doing today, like I hope I'm impacting you, and I hope I've been impacting you positively ever since I started this channel. I hope you tap into your greatness and you impact the world positively using that greatness, those gifts, that endowment, that brilliance, those skills that you have. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. Please drop your comments in the comment section and tell me how you are breaking out and how you are tapping into your greatness. I would love to read from you. Please drop your comments. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is your way of supporting me. Please subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to click the notification button so you will know as soon as I update. Also, do not forget to like and share my videos. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Don't forget to be an inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much. Inspira Central. Inspira Central.